Hey everyone, we had our first expat dinner this past Saturday. And when I first had this idea, I thought 5, 6, 7 people would show up. I have to be honest, I was amazed. 30 people showed up. And we had people from Australia, the Netherlands, Switzerland, Sri Lanka, the United Kingdom, and of course the United States. It was amazing, and it was amazing getting to meet every one of you. And if you didn't get to make it, this was the first of what I hope to be many of these in the future. So if you weren't able to make this, we will have in the description below a link where you can actually join our expat community here, which I've called Bogotá Nomads. And you sign up for that, and we'll basically send you the events we're doing. And we'll try to plan several of these ongoing. So I appreciate all of you. I really am thankful for every one of you. And I hope to get to meet more of you. So now I'll give you a preview of what you missed if you didn't get to come. And hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Take care.
So you finally did it. You sold the couch, canceled your internet plan, and told your boss you'll be working from the cloud. You hop on a plane, land somewhere tropical, and life's good until your debit card gets declined. Your mail piles up in North Carolina, and your phone provider decides that roaming in Colombia apparently costs more than your rent. Welcome to the glamorous life of the digital nomad, where freedom meets bureaucracy and paradise has paperwork. Because being a nomad isn't just about flights and laptops, it's about systems. Systems for mail, for money, for communication, for taxes, security, and the weird stuff you never thought about. Like, how do I deposit a check when I don't even live in the country anymore? That's where this video comes in. Today, I'm giving you the Digital Nomad Toolkit. Every tool, app, and service I personally use, and a few I wish I had found sooner, that make living anywhere actually possible. Because let's be real, if your life falls apart the second you leave your zip code, you're not a digital nomad. You're just a tourist with Wi-Fi. Let's make you a pro at living anywhere on the planet. Let's start with something most people forget about until it's too late: mail. Because no matter how far you travel, the US government, your bank, and your Aunt Linda will find a way to send you something made of paper. Now, most people solve this by begging a parent or a friend to open their mail, which works fine until your friend accidentally shreds your IRS notice thinking it was junk mail. So do what I did. Get a virtual mailbox. I personally use Traveling Mailbox based in Sanford, North Carolina. I found this one out about 3 years ago from a video by Alan from It'll Be Fun, and it was just a coincidence that it happened to be based in North Carolina, where I had lived most of my adult life. They give you a real US street address, not a P.O. box, and every time you get mail, you get a photo of the envelope in your app. From there, you can click Open and Scan, and within a few hours, boom, a PDF of your letter appears in your inbox. Need to deposit a check? Just tap deposit. They literally mail it to the bank for you. It's one of those boring tools that becomes a lifesaver once you're living abroad. Now, if you want to shop around, there are a few other solid options. Anytime Mailbox, tons of international address choices, even outside the US. Post-scan mail, affordable and simple to use, with solid scanning quality and dozens of US address options. Earth Class Mail, owned by LegalZoom, great for businesses or LLCs. iPostal One, the biggest network of addresses if you want flexibility. US Global Mail, made specifically for expats. Each one works a little differently. Some are cheaper, some have better app interfaces, but they all let you keep your US presence while you're sipping coffee in Bogotá or Lisbon or wherever you've decided to call home next. Links for all of these are below in the description. Because trust me, the moment you're 5,000 miles away and your bank sends a new debit card, you'll be very glad you didn't rely on Aunt Linda. She means well, but she's not scanning your mail at 2 a.m. All right, next up, money. This is where most new nomads learn the hard way that their bank thinks Colombia is code for fraud alert. Because nothing says I'm living my dream abroad quite like having your debit card declined at a grocery store for a $4 bottle of water. So here's the fix. Set yourself up with banks that don't freak out when you cross a border. My top two, Charles Schwab and Fidelity. Both refund all ATM fees worldwide. I'm talking every single one, and neither charge foreign transaction fees. It's basically like the banks looked at how annoying travel banking used to be and said, okay, fine, we'll be the adults here. And the cool thing is these two banks are really investment companies, so their customer service is always amazing. Now, if you're juggling multiple currencies, maybe you get paid in US dollars, but spend in euros or pesos. The hero you want is Wise, formerly TransferWise. It's a multi-currency account where you can hold, send, and spend in 50 currencies at real exchange rates. No hidden 3% surprise fees like your old bank sneaks in. Pair that with Revolut, which adds things like crypto, savings vaults, and even travel insurance, and you've got a setup that works worldwide. If you run a business, Mercury Bank is fantastic. It's a US-based online bank that works perfectly even if you're managing your company from abroad. And for big international transfers, like buying property or paying contractors, check out OFX. Their rates usually beat banks by a lot. Now you might be thinking, Matt, this sounds like a lot of accounts. Yeah, and that's kind of the point, because redundancy is freedom. One card gets frozen, you've got a backup. Currency tanks, you've got a hedge. Need to pay an employee in another country, you've got options. And remember, every service I mention in this video is linked below, because nothing kills your digital nomad dream faster than being cashless, cardless, and waiting on hold with Bank of America from another hemisphere. Ask me how I know. Let's talk about communication, because no matter how many stamps are in your passport, you still need a phone number that doesn't vanish the second you leave your home country. If you're from the US, you've got 3 solid paths. Keep a US number, go digital, or go local. For keeping your American number, the simplest option is Google Voice. You can port your old number, make and receive calls over Wi-Fi, and text from your laptop, all for free. It's perfect for staying reachable to banks, 2-factor codes, and that one friend who refuses to use WhatsApp. If you need something a little more business-friendly, Net2Phone and OpenPhone are both fantastic. They give you a clean US or Canadian number you can use through an app, voicemail, texting, even team collaboration if you're running a small remote business. Or for privacy or temporary numbers, Hush lets you grab disposable lines that you can ditch whenever you want. Now, if you want actual cell coverage, not just Wi-Fi calls, T-Mobile is one of the best international options out there. And many of you might not know T-Mobile is actually Deutsche Telekom, the German phone company. Most of their Magenta and Go 5G plans include free international roaming in over 200 countries, with unlimited texting and low-speed data that's surprisingly usable. If you want full-speed data, you can add a day pass or switch to Go 5G Plus, which includes high-speed roaming automatically. And for pure data, especially if you're hopping between countries, grab an eSIM. Apps like Airlo, Olafly, and Nomad eSIM let you download local data plans instantly. No more hunting for kiosks or swapping tiny plastic SIMs in airport bathrooms. So my setup, T-Mobile for my main US number, Net2Phone does all of my business lines, and I have an eSIM from a Colombian provider that I use only for data while in Colombia. That combo keeps me connected in just about every country I've been to without worrying about missing calls or getting hit with $200 roaming fees, because nothing ruins the digital part of digital nomad like losing service the second you land. Been there, never again. All right, now let's talk about everyone's favorite topic, paperwork. Because at some point, every nomad learns that freedom still comes with a little bureaucracy. You can only live off tourist stamps for so long before some border agent decides your passport looks too well loved. So whether you're applying for digital nomad visas, forming companies abroad, or trying to make sure Uncle Sam doesn't chase you down, here's how to keep your residency and taxes under control. If you've got millions and want a custom multi-passport strategy, there's Nomad Capitalists. They're expensive. We're talking private wealth level expensive. But they'll help you legally minimize taxes and even get second citizenships. If you like that idea but don't have a yacht budget, Raphael Cintron of Wealthy Expat and Michael Rosemer of Offshore Citizen offer similar expertise, just on a smaller, more personal scale. Think of Nomad Capitalist as the corporate firm and Raphael and Michael as the boutique consultants helping everyday entrepreneurs go global. But if you're a normal human being just trying to live somewhere nice and not mess up your visa, there are country-specific experts who actually make the process human. For example, SpainGuru.com. Bruno's site is an incredible resource for Spain's digital nomad visa, residency cards, and taxes. They have real articles, not clickbait. StartAbroad.com. Anna and Zach help people relocate to Costa Rica, Panama, Spain, and Portugal. They'll walk you through the visa, bank account, even housing setup. Expatgroup.co, if you're looking at Colombia, these guys are who got me my visa and every renewal. They handle visas, real estate purchases, even setting up your businesses here. Now, if you're setting up a US company while living abroad, don't overcomplicate it. Platforms like Start Global, Firstbase.io, or Dula can form your LLC and get your EIN from anywhere in the world. No US address required. But if I'm honest with you, I'd probably recommend KKOS Lawyers, as they specialize in setting up US companies and are both lawyers and CPAs, so they can help you structure things to reduce your tax footprint. Mark J. Kohler and Matt Sorensen are two of the partners, and both have YouTube channels and are very active on these topics. They're perfect for freelancers, YouTubers, anyone running an online business, or for that matter, any business. Here's the thing, the difference between being a traveler and being an expat is paperwork. It's not glamorous, but once you have the right visa, right tax setup, and a company that's legally running, you can focus on life instead of logistics. And trust me, doing this before immigration pulls you aside for a few questions is the smart play. All of these links are in the description, because if you're going to live anywhere, you might as well do it legally, efficiently, and with fewer awkward conversations at customs. Let's talk about data security, because as a digital nomad, your entire life lives on a laptop that's one spilled cappuccino away from the afterlife. And if you've ever tried doing taxes or banking on hotel Wi-Fi that's also being used by 600 people streaming Netflix, you know what I mean. So here's your holy trinity: VPN plus password manager plus cloud backup. First, a VPN encrypts your data so hackers, governments, or the guy next to you in the cafe can't snoop on your connection. My top picks are NordVPN and Surfshark. Both are fast, reliable, and cover multiple devices. Second, your password manager. If you're still reusing the same password you made in high school, please don't. I like Dashlane. It's clean, secure, and works across all your devices. But if you want to support Ryan Reynolds' growing empire, seriously, this man owns everything. He's part owner of 1Password, which is also fantastic. Another option a friend of mine uses, Bitwarden, and swears by it. All create long random passwords and autofill them safely, which means you can stop pretending you'll remember password 123. And third, cloud storage. For everyday sync, use Google Drive, pCloud, Sync.com, or Dropbox. If you want the Fort Knox of file security, check out Tresorit, which encrypts everything end-to-end before it even uploads. Here's the deal. Being a nomad means your gear is always on the move. You'll lose a charger, you'll drop a phone, you might even forget your laptop on a plane once, hypothetically. So set this up once, and you'll never lose sleep over it again, because the best travel insurance isn't just for your body, it's for your data. Okay, this next one's a little more advanced, but it's one of the smartest tricks for international living: crypto wallets. Here's why they matter. Every country has limits on how much money you can physically carry across borders, usually $10,000. But your crypto, that technically lives on the blockchain, not in your backpack. So your little ledger or Trezor device isn't money, it's the keys that tell the blockchain where your money is. Meaning you can travel anywhere in the world and still have access to your funds without ever bringing them through customs. There are two main players. Ledger, the Nano X, is my favorite because it connects by Bluetooth, so you can use it with your phone on the go. Trezor, the Model T, is open source, a little geekier, but very privacy focused. Both keep your private keys offline, which means hackers can't get to your crypto even if they get into your laptop. Now, to be clear, I'm not saying use crypto to dodge laws. Don't. But these wallets give you financial flexibility that traditional banks can't. You can move, store, or access funds instantly, 24/7, with zero wire fees and no one asking you why you're suddenly in Lisbon. Just remember to back up your recovery phrase somewhere safe, preferably not notes.txt on your desktop. Because if you lose that, your coins aren't gone to the IRS. They're gone to the universe. Let's talk about flights, because being a nomad means you're probably buying more tickets than most pilots. And the difference between traveling affordably and bleeding cash usually comes down to how you search. I'm a member of both Going.com, formerly Scott's Cheap Flights, and Dollar Flight Club. And they're both great if you're flexible. Like I could do Portugal or Japan or wherever the cheap ticket goes, kind of flexible. They send you mistake fares and flash sales that can save you hundreds. But honestly, I'm rarely that spontaneous. So for me, they're nice to have, but not must-haves. My real secret weapon is matrix.itasoftware.com. It's what actual travel agents use. It's not pretty, but it's powerful. You can search multiple airports for both departures and arrivals, tweak exact or flexible dates, and filter by airline, flight time, or connection type. I use it to find which airline has the best deal. And you cannot book through matrix.itasoftware.com. But once you've found the deal, then you can go directly to that airline's website to book. That way I can pick my seat, earn points, and keep my elite status, all without paying third-party fees. Now, I also use Momondo, Skyscanner, and Google Flights all the time. They're perfect for flexible searches and tracking price trends. Hopper is great if you want a second opinion. It uses AI to tell you whether to buy now or wait a few days. Now, if you want to find award seats using miles, check out Seats.aero. It's hands down the best site for seeing which routes have the lowest points redemption across multiple airlines. And for the occasional hidden city deal, they're skip lagged. It can save serious money if you don't mind skipping the final leg of a flight. Just don't check a bag because it won't end up where you do. One last thing. Most booking sites don't give you a grace period to cancel, but Expedia usually does. They're one of the few OTAs that still offer a 24-hour free cancellation window, which can be a lifesaver if you book something impulsively at 2 a.m. So yeah, I use a mix. Matrix to research, Google Flights to cross-check, and Seats.aero to optimize my miles, Going and Dollar Flight Club for inspiration, and Expedia as a safety net. Now for airport life, I never travel without Priority Pass. It gets you into over 1,300 lounges worldwide, and if you've ever been stuck in a noisy terminal trying to upload footage on airport Wi-Fi, you'll understand why this is essential. It's not perfect, but it's still better than not having a lounge. The bottom line, the best travelers don't just travel, they hack travel. You can save hundreds every trip just by using the right tools. So instead of letting airlines charge you for convenience, use their system against them, because every dollar you save on flights is another one you can spend on actually living, or let's be honest, upgrading your Airbnb. Okay, let's talk about where you'll actually live, because being a digital nomad sounds glamorous until you've spent a week in a hotel room that smells like broken dreams and cleaning supplies. For short-term stays, Airbnb and Booking.com are still the kings, but if you're staying a month or more, jump over to Flatio or Spot a Home. They specialize in furnished monthly rentals, which means actual kitchens, real Wi-Fi, and landlords who don't panic when you say, I work from home. If you're into community and co-working, check out Selena or Outsite. They combine accommodation, co-working spaces, and events, so you can move to a new city and instantly have a built-in network of remote workers and travelers. And if you want to go full minimal expense adventure mode, try Trusted House Sitters or World Packers. You take care of someone's pet or help a small project in exchange for free accommodation. It's perfect if you want to travel long-term without watching your bank account melt. My personal strategy, mix it up. I'll do an Airbnb for a week or two when filming, then settle into a monthly rental where I can actually unpack a suitcase and pretend to be civilized. Because after 15 countries, trust me, you'll learn the joy of a washing machine that isn't coin operated. Now let's talk about something we all have to deal with, documents. Because even when you're living the global life, the rest of the world still wants paperwork. Contracts, leases, notarized forms, all the things we were promised would disappear in the paperless future. So here's how to handle it without flying home just to sign something. For digital signatures, DocuSign and HelloSign, which is now Dropbox Sign, are the heavy hitters. They're secure, legally recognized, and make it easy to sign documents from anywhere, even if anywhere happens to be a hammock in Curacao. But sometimes you need an actual notarized document, like for real estate or government forms. That's where Notarize.com comes in. You hop on a video call, show your ID, and a licensed U.S. notary witnesses your signature right through your webcam. It's 100% valid in all 50 states, and yes, it works even if you're physically outside the US. All right, let's finish the logistics trifecta with something every expat runs into eventually: shopping from abroad. Because you'll be living your best life overseas when suddenly you realize Amazon won't ship the one thing you actually need. That's where package forwarding services come in. They give you a real US address, you ship your stuff there, and then they forward it to wherever you are. My top picks, myus.com, gives you a Florida address, fast processing, and great rates for consolidated shipping. Shopito, I don't know if that's how it's pronounced, is really solid if you're in Europe or Latin America, and they'll hold packages for free up to 45 days. Stackery lets you combine multiple orders into one box so you don't get hit with triple shipping costs. These are great if you're buying electronics, camera gear, vitamins, or anything that doesn't exist locally. And trust me, that list gets longer the longer you live abroad. Because sometimes it's not about convenience, it's about comfort, and there's no shame in international shipping for your favorite brand of peanut butter. So there you go, my digital nomad toolkit. Every tool, app, and service I use to keep my life running while I'm living abroad. From my mail in North Carolina to my banking to my data security, flights, housing, and even shipping. Because the truth is, being a digital nomad isn't just about the views, it's about having systems that make your life work anywhere. You'll find every link I mentioned down below. And if you want to go deeper into the expat life, sign up for the Passport newsletter. It's totally free and it will have a link to the Digital Nomad Kit, everything in this video with links. Also, every month I send out a full digital magazine with travel stories, expat tools, destination guides, and resources that you can actually use. If you're interested in international real estate or business opportunities, check out my Brokor newsletter. That's where I share listings, deals, and investment insights for people building a life abroad. And if you're here in Bogotá or planning to be, join our Bogotá Nomads group. It's a free community of expats, remote workers, and travelers who actually meet up in real life. I'm Matt Griffith, and this is the Americano. Live smart, travel far, and remember, it's not about escaping where you're from, it's about building a life anywhere. Take care.